Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Angela Rizzo with VinCue. I'm here with my friend Steve Retzler, CEO, but not the traditional CEO. He is the Chief Evangelist Officer at DriveCentric. Steve, how are you today?
It's cool when you can have two CEOs in a company. It sounds pretty cool, doesn't it?
That is cool. But does your CEO get upset that there's another CEO?
No, because that's less people that could, mistakenly call him instead of me. He doesn't like to be bothered.
I love it. I love it. So tell me more. Tell our audience. Tell us more about DriveCentric. What you do, why it's important.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, it's DriveCentric. Hopefully, a lot of people have heard about it. But if you haven't heard about us, I'm just going to be shocked. But anyway, no, DriveCentric, we're going out there. All these CRMs out there, we all use these legacy tools that are out there. DriveCentric is really the fresh face for the last at least 10 years. But we've been progressing as far as with technology, with things like AI, video. Ultimately, we're transforming dealerships from using these legacy CRMs from a database perspective to an engagement management perspective. These customers, Angela, are just buying cars so fast. By the time these dealerships look at data, they go into desk log and they go do all these things. How many calls did you make? How many emails? We focus on the customers that are talking to the store in the digital showroom to save more deals. And that's what we get pretty passionate about highlighting. Not saying that the customer in the showroom, isn't important, because obviously they are. The problem is there's no visibility, Angela, to these customers in the digital showroom. There's going to be a lot more customers talking, meaning they're replying to text, emails, videos, artificial intelligence, all that stuff. And we highlight that so the managers can save more deals. So being more of an engagement platform is a lot more fun to say than just being a traditional CRM.
Actually, I love this. I love the way that you're marketing DriveCentric with by talking about engagement and making sure you're meeting the consumers where they're at in the digital showroom, because we all know everybody's doing their research before they show up at the dealership. At least most people are.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more about why it's so important now for dealers to embrace this digital engagement, and because that's just kind of where things are going right now?
Oh, well, it's been there for a long period of time. It's just that, again, we've been growing and the messages show slowly but surely gets out there. But I think what we've proven out there is that the hottest customers are the ones talking to you. If I can't get a customer talking to me, how am I going to schedule an appointment and get them to the showroom? So our motto is very simple. Talk to more customers, allows you to schedule more appointments, and you sell more cars. It all starts with engagement. And all these dealers, Angela, they're spending all this money on marketing, and their engagement rate is usually between 30 and 35%. We've established a benchmark of 70%. That's what we statistically see. So that's why we say that: talk to more customers, schedule more appointments, sell more cars. That's why it starts that way. Now, if you had 100 customers talking to your store, Angela, or any dealer watching this, how many opportunities do you have today? 100 is the answer. All right. It's pretty simple. If they're talking to you, they're not shopping for pizza. They're looking for a car. They're talking to your dealership. And that's what's invisible. And managers just can't track that in a lot of these legacy CRMs. We're hunting and digging in traditional desk logs, which is still fine. That's just one area to find a car. We just established a bigger piece of the pie to where the customers are talking to you, and now you can save deals that way. So that's what we love to train our new stores on, is just expanding their new way of saving deals in the digital showroom, because it's visible now.
Yeah, this is really important. It kind of reminds me a little bit of what VinCue is doing in terms of, this digital disruption, and looking at the old way of doing things, these legacy systems that really weren't providing the dealerships the data that they need, like the real-time data and the ability to engage. And I know that we have an integration between DriveCentric and VinCue where, we keep the data up to date between the CRM, your CRM, and our database and our platform.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, look, you guys have been a rising, growing company, and I think it's great when there's alternatives. I mean, we have a lot of integrations with a lot of companies, and when we hear a lot of good feedback about somebody like a VinCue, we start saying, hey, let's get out there and let's start building these integrations up, with other vendors, and it takes a lot of time to build these custom build integrations, but yeah, it's great. I mean, we're one of your biggest fans. We love to see these companies grow. But yeah, having that two-way communication with something like VinCue is obviously going to be very important to the dealer. Plus your messaging, which I always love about you guys. You guys are doing a lot of the same things with us, is like consolidate a lot of your tools into one package, which is exactly what we're doing. And this day and age, after what all happened with the the unfortunate CDK debacle, it's very important to keep things separated, and having, let's say, your CRM separated from your DMS and having inventory management. These are all things we have to look at. How can we consolidate, but be the master of what you guys do? And that's what's important. We're the master of, call it CRM, engagement, video, AI, database management, marketing, internally and things like that. There's just a lot of things that we do that help reduce product. And then we don't want to do what you want to do. Let's be honest. We don't. You guys are the experts. There's just certain things you want to stay in your lane about. And you stay in your lane, you're more successful as a company.
Right. Well, and it sounds like what we're both doing is we have this focus, this maniacal focus on the dealer body and making sure that everything we do supports the dealer body and improves what they're doing in the dealership as it relates. I'm sure that you have that same perspective as it relates to the CRM and everything that's going on there with the end user. And we have that same focus on inventory management, appraisals, merchandising. I mean, it's what can we do to make it a point and click, right, for the dealer so that they can make more money.
Right. Well, that's the thing. A lot of these legacy tools and, with modern technology, that's the one thing you can make it, everybody always says the best tool is the one that's used, right? I mean, and unfortunately, a lot of dealers fall in these habits. And sometimes they don't look at their efficiency models as far as how many windows do I have open up on my Chrome browser? Why do I need all these freaking windows? I always joke around, in some of these tools, you're going to, not just be in, let's say, the CRM, you're going to have like potentially 20 windows open up, and if I can help reduce, let's say, 10 of those windows, and if you can reduce another 5, just think how refreshing that could be for any dealer to manage their store appropriately.
Steve, it's even going to get more interesting. We've got a couple of really forward-thinking dealers that they want to do everything on their mobile phone. They want to do everything on the phone or a tablet. They don't want any computers in the dealership. So they want people, right? Let's talk about that a little bit and how we can enable that.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I mean, there's always an expense to paper and ink, right? I mean, just printers and stuff like that. But, you look at those costs and they do add up for a dealership, but those are the operational expenses that people have to really take a hard look at. They just don't. They look at just a cost per cost comparison. But yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, a lot of folks want to get rid of paper as much as they can, especially with, securing data. Like one of the things we're talking about is, we have this thing called Portal where now a customer can securely upload their driver's license, inside DriveCentric. And we store that for 30 days with, all this PII information you really got to protect the stores about versus yet getting another tool. But again, if we can house more of those things and maybe not print off a driver's license for a test drive, for example, and take a photocopy, now you got that inside the CRM. So there are some really good, effective ways of managing your, things like ink, paper, all that. I know it's a small little thing, but it does add up. And yeah, a lot of people want to go paperless, no doubt.
Yeah, well, not only paperless, they want to go computerless. They want to do everything mobile, which is cool, right? You walk around the dealership, you scan the VIN, you appraise the vehicle, that data, is shared with the CRM and the DMS. So yeah, it's going to go another level pretty quickly. It's kind of exciting.
It is cool when you start seeing more iPads around the room and they're, giving it to the customer, putting it in the hands of the customer. And I think, the more that customers can be in charge of the sale, I think the better opportunity is for that dealer, because then it looks like you're collaborating with them a little bit. You know, you're letting them kind of pick and choose vehicles or monitor the pricing if you're doing some sort of digital retailing tool, things of that nature. So yeah, there's no doubt there is some good psychology behind doing that at a store.
Yeah, we spoke like, I think it's been over 2 years. I think we were at a conference
No
when
way. 2 years, Angela.
two
Time
years.
flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. And it was at that point you guys were like, DriveCentric was a really early adopter of AI and integrating AI into your tools. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are doing and how that's evolving?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the best parts about what we do is we like, even though we're in that CRM kind of space, we like to really promote ourselves as a technology company. We've been actually doing AI, Angela, for over 10 years. It's just the technology has evolved. Like the latest and the greatest is ChatGPT 4.0, right? And if 5.0 comes out, we're already on top of it. But it's evolved to all the different ChatGPT levels. No difference like an iPhone 4, 5, 6, 7, things of that nature. So that's the way I always explain it to the dealers. So it's important to know that, how the AI is built, especially with us, it's built within DriveCentric, and we can have it monitor like your database now. I mean, we could have it market to 6-month anniversary, 1-year anniversaries, but we're building AI with the data points that we typically leverage for workflows and build up those conversations, leveraging the technology of AI now, creating opportunities in DriveCentric. So DriveCentric now becomes a lead gen, through AI. It's really cool. So we have like 4 different elements of AI. The traditional one that most stores all get is, your internet lead handling, Angela. I think we all know there's plenty of AI companies that do that, and you can bolt them onto, CRMs. But ours is, again, built in. And now we got this thing called augmented intelligence marketing. And that's what I was talking about. And it's crazy to see these conversations and how people are responding to the AI. It's crazy. I've seen it talk Japanese to get a trade appraisal for a dealership. Obviously, it talks all the different languages, but that was about the craziest one. But you just see people losing their jobs, and they're just looking for an ear as somebody to talk to. And no salesperson is going to talk to somebody about that and go back and forth, let's say 10 or 20 times. Let technology be that psychologist for that customer, which builds that store up in a different light because they just feel like they were listened to at that unfortunate opportunity. So yeah, AI is just a huge, huge part. We're seeing, about 1 in 5 communications with the database, and those conversations lead to an opportunity. So the other thing we've got is a thing called Genius Replies. So we're helping stores get rid of all their templates. Imagine that, Angela. No templates in a CRM.
Wow.
I mean, that it really is true. So you can go out there, hit a button, and it'll craft up a response to the last message that the customer may have said, and maybe I don't know how to respond. So yeah, we're getting to be more of an AI company around a CRM. That's probably more our, where we're going as an organization. But yeah, it's pretty wild the way we keep seeing the tech evolve around that.
Great. So, do you find that most of the dealerships that you guys are selling to, they already have a CRM and they see you guys as modernizing, or do you still go into dealerships where they're not even using a CRM?
It's very rare that we see anybody without a CRM. I mean, there are some people out there. It's mostly on the independent side, though. I've never seen really a franchise. I think, as everybody always says, best CRM is the one that's used. And unfortunately, they're on these old tools that just feel like a Nokia phone. And what I always tell a dealer is go give your people all Nokia phones and say, hey, I'm going to buy you all phones. I'm going to buy you all phones. And you know what? Here you go. Here's your Nokia phone. Do you think they're going to use a Nokia phone, Angela, versus their iPhone 15 or 14 or 12 or whatever they got?
Mhm.
So why in the world will they use these legacy tools that feel Yahoo-ish? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, the technology has evolved quite a bit. I mean, most of these dealerships are just on Nokia phone, and the CRM is just the heart of the business. So we have to go out there and I'd like to think we do a very, a good job going out there and explaining the differences going from like these legacy CRMs, and they were good back in the day, right? It just haven't evolved.
Right.
And I hope dealers who are watching this would hopefully agree. If you go out there and say, what has my CRM built in the last year? I'd love to hear those comments. And then, tell me, I'll tell you what we built in a year. And we'll, just tell you who's evolving. And that's what some of these big companies do, unfortunately, is, they sunset the product and they take the dealership's money, right? And they keep the product just flat. So that's what the dealerships are supporting, is just, a legacy tool that's never going to evolve. They're just going to bolt things on. So it feels like it's built in, but yet it's integrated. So we have to really go out there and explain sometimes the difference between the technologies of old versus technologies of new.
Yeah, we find that too. We find that the biggest hurdle is change.
Always is, but that's what makes the world go around. I mean, there's plenty of people out there that says, if you don't want to change, then what do you get excited about in the morning?
Exactly.
Seriously, it's like, and I mean, and I did look in other industries. I've been in, medical industries. I've been in engineering, and these projects sometimes take a long time. Somebody at the dealership is going to be responsible for any change, whether they go to VinCue or they come to DriveCentric, and sometimes that could be like a risk in people's eyes. And I think the biggest thing, especially for you guys and for Drive, we have over like 2,000 clients now. When we were starting up, I would probably say it was maybe a risk, like you're taking a risk and you'll reap the benefits. And now that we have 2,000 stores, it's not a risk. I mean, we are well proven. We're in a lot of big groups. We're helping dealerships sell cars, increase gross by using video, increase engagement, leveraging technology, reducing their operational expenses with AI as well. It's just that dealerships got to look at our decision as an operational change of culture versus what they do today. But I think it's refreshing. I mean, when stores get the platform, I had a dealership, Angela, just what was it, 2 weeks ago? They went live with Drive, and he was just dreading the change, and I'm sure they dread the change, right, with you. But there is nothing more refreshing when you're going through the sale and they're like, "This is the second worst thing, changing CRM," and then what do? They call me up. They say, "Dude, this thing is sick."
Yep.
Because it's their data versus, you going through a demo showing how a stores should be improving using VinCue or a store using DriveCentric. All of a sudden becomes their data. I'm like, dude, you just opened my eyes to a new world. So it's kind of fun when that resonates, what I mean? That transformation. And then you got to do a manager. I do a kick in the ass meeting. And it was funny. There was a customer talking to them in the digital showroom. It was waiting 45 minutes. I pinged the salesperson and I responded as a salesperson, scheduled appointment, and they sold the car last week.
Oh my God.
I think that's just kind of cool. But it's showing people how you can save deals in the digital showroom versus just a desk log.
Yes, exactly. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? About the whole digital showroom?
Well, that's what I was kind of talking about. The digital showroom, just so everybody understands, it's the customers that are talking to your store. They're texting, they're emailing, they're responding to AI. They're talking to your store, but they're not physically in your store. So, that's why I said earlier, if you had 100 customers talking to your store, Angela, you got 100 opportunities. Every dealer in their right mind who's watching this will say the same thing. So go find those deals is my answer. All right. Because that's what dealers are looking for. How do I sell more cars? We've got all the answers how to sell more cars. You want to sell more gross? Start sending videos at the right time. We've got data that says that. So the digital showroom, they just got to realize that I don't care what CRM they're on, they just got to focus on it. And these customers are just buying cars 70% of the time in 4 business days. That's why the engagement is so important in monitoring your digital showroom. If I can't talk to a digital showroom customer, they are never going to come in. I could say that umpty 9 times, Angela, and I just hope it resonates with somebody watching this.
Well, and the window's short. Like once they're on your site, you got to get to them while they're there. That's the best time to reach, right? A prospect is when they're looking at your site and clicking buttons.
That's what I mean. Feel like you're in chat mode. Any dealer watching this or anybody, dude, you just feel like your CRM should be a chat provider. It's like I'm chatting with text, I'm chatting with email, I'm chatting with video. A customer doesn't want to wait for response. There is no way a customer, if Angela, let's say you're in the showroom and I said, "Hey, Angela, how you doing?" And you say,
I'm great. How are you?
and I wait 45 minutes for a response, Angela. There's no way in God's green earth you would ever wait 45 minutes or an hour or 2 hours for a response to a text. It's stupid. But
Exactly.
that's what they do. They do all these activities, they drive engagement, and then they don't respond because they can't see it. They're losing deals. So that's why it's so important. It's like, I love to role play this out with a dealer because it just makes sense. Imagine me walking away and you come back for 45 minutes. And I said, "Oh, Angela, I'm doing great."
That would
But
not be a
that's what
very
it
fun
is.
conversation.
It's so true, though. Do that exercise with a dealer. It's fun. I've done that several times. I'm like, "That's your digital showroom." They go, "Oh my God, I never really thought of it like that." Well, that's because you didn't look at it.
Exactly.
Terrible.
All right. All right. Tell me about your proudest moment at DriveCentric and what keeps you so passionate about the
Oh
automotive industry.
man, my proudest moment. I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, number one, well, I think my proudest moment is really, to say we're here in over 2,000 stores. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's a lot of successes that come around with it, but I'm probably most proud of everybody at our company and how they've evolved. This is my third startup, and to see everybody at a company that gets started, and I can only think of really one person that helped start this company that has left. And it just speaks to the culture of our company. I mean, everybody works hard. Startup is not easy, as you and probably Danny know. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of fights, but everybody has come together. And I think watching our company grow into like a big family is probably the proudest moment. I mean, we haven't lost the culture. Typically, when you grow a company and you get to a certain point, usually you lose that culture. And a lot of our culture has stayed, and that's the funnest part. I was always worried if we ever grew up, Angela, to a bigger company, we would lose the culture. And the fact that everybody, works hard, play hard, that atmosphere. That's been really the proudest moment, just seeing the company grow. But on a personal note, my proudest moment, and if she's watching, I always wanted to work with Herb Chambers. I always heard Herb Chambers was, a great organization. I mean, there's a lot of good organizations, but I followed Herb Chambers, and Tina Norton is my girl there, and was always cold calling her for, well, whatever, 9 years. And it just pays to keep following up, not, I followed up every maybe 6 months, and she kind of gave me a couple of demos, over the course of, 9 years. But she's kind of watched us evolve. She gave us an opportunity, and next thing you know, we're working with Herb Chambers. And probably one of those moments where, yeah, it took 9 years to close. People could say I suck as a salesperson, but I mean, CRM it's a hard change, especially for 37 stores. So it's probably one of my longer sales. I mean, there's other ones that fit in that, but I've just known Tina a long time, and great human being. And anyway, it's one of those things. And that's the most recent one that I could say that I'm proud of. So,
Well, that's great. Congratulations. And this business is the automotive industry is all about relationships.
oh yeah,
Right? At the end of the day, you have to have a good product that delivers, but the ease of getting to know people and how many wonderful people are in automotive. I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it.
well, and I think too, the thing is you just got to keep planting the seeds. You know what I mean? The business, you never want to piss off anybody in sales. You just, it's always about timing, whether it's your product or our product,
Yep.
is you just got to be helpful to a dealership, and we try to go out there and educate, whether it's on social media and stuff like that. But, when the time is right, you just want to know that they think about you. and that's why I love to follow up once every 4 months or 3 months. Never want to badger anybody, but just kind of poke them a little bit, right? And if you do it right, I get a lot of people that say they love the way we follow up. We're not badgering them and things of that nature. But some people will say I'm badgering them, but I'll back off if you tell me. Don't talk to me. I'm on my popcorn break, Angela.
Well, look, I'm looking forward to NADA, that you
Hell
guys
yeah.
have a big presence there. You got anything special planned?
It's NADA gets better and better for us as an organization. I think we're going to be. Last year was kind of a blowout year for us. We usually take a certain amount of staff. We were understaffed, and I'm not saying that to sound salesy for this, but we usually have enough people to take care of the booth. And last year was just a blowout year. I think because everybody was talking about artificial intelligence, and we've been talking about it so long, so that just makes me feel like, well, we really did brand ourselves with AI because that was the biggest topic last year. I'll be very curious to see what happens this year. Yeah, we're taking more people, but this year we're going to do kind of like we saw a digital dealer, like a fireside chat that Car Wars put on, and we're looking to do some fireside chats at our booth. We're going to do some interviews at our booth, so we get excited about bringing up some of the dealers and just share content. I think if you can provide content at your booth of what you're specialized in, then you don't have to worry about doing these sessions where you got to be unbiased, right? I think dealers want specific information and not general information.
Right. Right. And they want to understand how other dealers are winning.
Yeah. I mean, why reinvent the wheel,
Right.
and that's what we always try to help our dealers when they're making the transition over to Drive. How do I leverage AI? Do I change my pay plans? How many BDC people should I have per opportunity now with AI? How do I change my workflows? All these things are things that we help the dealerships. Can I get rid of all my templates? Yeah, you can. How do you do that? That's what we try to help is, we connect the dots. I'd like to think we're a very good networking organization to, help dealers not wait 6 months to figure it out.
Right.
And that's why we do our DC20 too, to be just plug that a little bit. We did 6 events and every one is sold out. We're doing our next one in February, the month after NADA. We're looking to have 100 dealers to attend that one, and we already got our speakers lined up. So we're plugging that away. So that'll be our 7th event and our 2nd one on the road. So pretty cool stuff what we got going on. We stay busy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We started Unleashed 2 years ago, our
Yeah.
customer conference. I think we went to yours. We sponsored yours and we're like, hey, we need to do something like this. And, we're getting 75 to 100 dealers to come to Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean but here's the thing though, is I think, like what you're doing and like what we're doing, like Jason at La Pop, he's doing it, I think there's just some if dealers want to get better with their specialty on the products they use, it makes sense to get better and learn from others at an event. And that's what I'm saying is you can go to these, trade shows and get general information. But if I'm a dealer, I want to know my specialty. My specialty is VinCue. I'm on DriveCentric. How does a dealer go to a 20 group? And there are good reasons for 20 group. But like for me, I tell every dealer, what are you going to learn from a legacy CRM versus you as a DriveCentric? We hold our stores at a higher statue than legacy tools 20 years ago because the KPIs are just different.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we wanted to do DC20. So it kind of brings the elite dealerships all together to collaborate. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we find that the best sessions at Unleashed are the ones where the dealers get up and talk about what they're doing and teaching other dealers. So you're absolutely right. It's they want to learn from each other and they want to get into the details. So that's great.
Yeah. That's why you do and I didn't get to make your one because I had a conflicting event, but having it like in a workshop mode where I think the dealers, it's not like you're sitting through a presentation style. And that's what we wanted to avoid with DC20 is Like I'm going to throw up on you in this room of 50 or 100 people, and you're just going to listen to me. We wanted it to be more like collaborative. So, we break them up into bite-sized rooms where there's like usually 15 to 20 people in the room, and it becomes very collaborative in that workshop mode. So if you guys are doing that too, I mean, I think that's the biggest feedback we get is they like that interaction.
Yeah, our dealers love it too.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're a busy guy. Was there anything else you wanted to mention before I let you go? Is there a question that I didn't ask that you want to answer?
Seriously, I don't care what CRM they're on. I think you just got to acknowledge the digital showroom customer. I mean, really, just acknowledge them, focus on that. You will sell cars just because you see customers waiting for a response. And like I said, you could see it in these other CRMs. You may not see it as easy as Drive, but I think what we need to do in the auto industry to help the customers think better of our industry is be responsive to an active conversation. So that's, these OEMs, they used to go out there, Angela, and say, respond to the lead, be quick, be quick. Well, okay, if we can't figure that out after 20 years, okay, let's move on and be a better responder. That's what I tell dealers. It's the times have changed. The customers are buying cars 70% of the time. Respond and talk to the customer, please. Don't template.
Love it. All right, Steve, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Always, Angela, good seeing you. Hey,
Love it. All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, later, girl.
Bye-bye.